Hello, my name is Surya Veming,
And I am Mogwai.
and we are bringing you another game of Planetary Annihilation. A few things to talk about straight off the bat here. A couple of people asked about my upload schedule. I'm aiming to do about 4 Planetary Annihilation videos a week. Some will be games, or most will probably be games. I'm also going to do some updates and some just general videos showing off the features of the game when Chronocam comes out. I'll probably be fiddling with that a lot because I love the idea of it. And when new units are added, I'll probably do spotlight direct on the unit and show off all its features and uses. There will also be other videos uploaded. I'm looking to do a Let's Play, which hopefully will be up on Saturday, so keep an eye out for it. I'm sure it'll be very enjoyable.
I'm really excited, guys. This is really what to look out for. I'm quivering with anticipation.
I think that's about it on that. Now, I'm playing this game on something called the Gentleman's Ladder. It's been set up by players because there is no inbuilt ladder or ranking system at the minute. Just people want to have a bit of competitive edge and play against people who know the game quite well. It's got some basic rules. You can only build extractors on the metal deposits because that's not implemented, but it will be, so it's only fair. You can only build 1 wall per tower because walls at the minute mess up the targeting system horribly, so that's annoying. And there's no building stacking either, so you're not allowed to build buildings on top of each other, which I don't think you can anymore, but that wall's there just in case it ever comes back. It's a great community. If you ever want to go onto it, check out the Planetary Annihilation General discussion forum. I'm pretty sure it's in there. It might be in the backers forum. It's one of the two. If I can, if it's in general forum, I'll give a link. It's the backers forum, I can't.
Can you pop that in the description for us?
If it's in the general forum.
Okay.
Right? And if you ever see me on there, just ask me for a game. I'll gladly play against you. Now, patch notes. This is at Alpha 50,256. Those really long numbers. It's a bit annoying. But Mac and Light stability has been greatly improved since the last one, including 32-bit version of Windows now as well. It's been officially supported. It's working supposedly quite well.
Excellent.
Mac is now playable, which is great. Before there were lots of performance issues when lots of things was going on, because video memory was going wonky or something.
Yeah, so. And I know in the developers' commentary the other day, the live, they mentioned that this has been a real stumbling block for them. They've been desperately trying to get this sorted. Yeah,
so that's all good. Custom games now up to 5 players free for all and 10 players in teams, where that was 2v2, 2v2, or 2 teams of 5 or whatever, any combination of any sort of team numbers. We can't have more than 5 players in a free-for-all. Bombers and RT now choose their targets much better. There's also a new building effect, which I'm sure you just saw there. It's great. The Commander also has radar now, Tech 1 radar.
Excellent.
Great for very early. I think it's a necessary feature, actually. I'm glad they did that. Subs move mostly okay. Not perfect.
Mostly.
They still don't shoot, but they're kind of moving now, which is good. There's also new sound cues. I'm going to put the volume for the video a bit higher than I usually do, so you might be able to hear them. Stuff like when you run out of energy now, or when you can't build a building, it goes, which is really nice.
Okay.
And well, let's get into the game.
Well, you've one of the key differences you'll see, guys, here is Lemmings having to pick his mass points on actual metal points. Points. We should really make sure we refer to it as
metal, not mass.
On mass, yeah.
I have already found the other player.
Wow.
Quick thing about the player. His name's the Killer 666, or just the Killer. He makes YouTube videos as well. Lovely guy. You can see him at The Realm Vids. Is his YouTube username?
The Realm Vids. I like that name.
Yeah. He's part of a community called The Realm.
Yeah.
Again, lovely bunch of people. They'll happily play a game against you, but very close confrontation here.
Okay, so explain what's happening.
Well, essentially, I sent out my guy to take those metal points, and that was his base. So I bumped into him very early. Now, I've decided to go on the offensive here. I'm building my turret really far forward to stop him from point defense, and I've switched over immediately to aggressive ground units, because that's why I built the vehicle factory at the start.
Now, you'll see a clear difference between pro play and just Lemming on the ladder here. Straight away, as soon as he saw the enemy, he switched over to hostile units. Now that's partly because he's only playing against one person, and partly because he's playing against someone he knows is of a higher caliber.
Exactly. So I decided to push forward, taking out build already,
which is great.
I didn't realise radar had this much HP.
Yeah, wow, it is really taking a pounding there.
Yeah, so I'm going to scout around, try and find more builders that I can try and snipe, because for every builder I kill, it's another builder that can't build. Defense.
Yeah, I'm really surprised you didn't focus on that hardly built tower.
Which hardly built tower?
There was a tower just to the north of the radar.
Oh, right.
That was,
yeah, that was a mistake.
okay, now you'll notice a massive change with the fire rate of the commander here, guys.
Oh, yes,
that was,
definitely.
Wow, that was just pounding there, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it makes very hard to push into end. Like, as I said previously, it was about microwing the commander. It's almost impossible to do now because he can take out a tower without any trouble.
Yeah, look at the fire speed there, guys. Look at the rate of fire. Look at how aggressive he can be with that commander. Now, you've got to give Lemming a bit of a heads up here that you know, there's a lot of changes for him to keep up to date with, and you know, the strategy of being far more forward with the commander is not something you're used to at this stage.
Oh no, and of course this is probably the hardest opponent I've ever had. Being the only one who's, I mean, the killer's very prevalent on his gentleman's ladder. It's played like 25-30 games already.
Wow.
So he's got a lot more experience than I have in this.
Yeah, about proper competitive play, whereas currently you've been testing the game, and that's something you admit at this stage.
Oh, have you noticed as well? I'm putting the turrets in the right rotation.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It is luck in the fact that they are already pointing in the right direction, but they are in the right direction.
That's less impressive now. That's less. I'm less impressed.
So,
you listeners, are you less impressed?
I might for my ants to take out the turret he was building so I can finish building mine.
Okay.
So I've got a nice defensive position here.
Okay. And again, we see vehicles being quite prevalent. That artillery. Okay. That's a little awkward for him, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm trying to scout the edges, make sure I can't, make sure he can't try and push me while I build this artillery.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure he's got vision of it, as I've got vision of his base.
Yeah.
So
He's also reacting with those tank pushes to bring down units to the bottom left.
I'm not too worried about him
Commander
pushing.
comes in again, and this is going to be awkward. Now, his commander's damaged. In a straight fight to fight, you should technically win. Oh, was that an overcharge?
Yes, I don't know how to do that, unfortunately. I've looked on the forums very quickly, and I haven't seen anything about it. I'm going to have to look again. But
wow, he took a lot of damage there. That was very dangerous for him. Now, oh, he's actually getting his artillery up faster than yours now, isn't he?
No, we've both got commander and 2 fabrication units building.
Is he slightly ahead?
No, I'm slightly ahead just.
Oh wow, it really is to the wire though, isn't it?
Yeah,
okay.
but I also did rotate mine to the right direction.
Ah, wonderful. Yeah, he does not, ladies and gentlemen. He is not.
So it's that extra little quarter of a second has to rotate. Unfortunately, my artillery will not fire at his artillery.
Awkward.
Because I think there's just something in the way. Maybe it's a new attack priority stuff because his commander was in vision. But it would not, so his artillery took out my artillery.
Now that's going to force you back. Yeah, I had to do the siege. Yeah, this is an instant retreat. Fair enough. Now that makes things very awkward. He's probably quite happy with that. Although his commander's taken a lot of damage. Did you not consider pushing, or do you push in the next minute or two?
No, because I know he's got a comparable amount of vehicles to me and the defensive turrets. It's just I would need like 20-30 vehicles to push into that. And I've got 1 factory building.
Right.
I have taken quite a step backwards on econ to be able to do that.
And from what we can see, from what we can see of the radar of his base, he has not held off on econ. So he's got a significant amount of buildings there.
I kind of now because he has to build a metal point. I can look on the radar things that I haven't seen before. And by the way, now when you see a building, it stays as a ghost on the image,
which is perfect. Is exactly what.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like 5-6 games ago was a necessary feature, so I'm glad to see that. Okay. But I can look now and see whether there's a metal point there and see whether he's got more mass than I think he does, which is very nice because.
But I would say we are behind at this stage.
I am definitely behind at this stage, or we're at a similar level pegging, which isn't a good place to be either.
No. Right.
So he scouted my base on the other side. He knows roughly what I've got, but he didn't scout all the way through. But he knows I've got at least 1 more vehicle factory. He probably saw the second one as well.
And I'm noticing a much significant increased speed from you. This I can tell just from watching this. This is far less lackadaisical.
Oh yes, I'm very worried at this point.
Okay.
And the adrenaline flows, so you start to play a bit quicker.
Yeah. This is more of what I think of as your level of play. You know, this is very intense. There's a lot of there's a sneaky boy.
I have noticed it though.
Yeah, you have.
So I bring my commander in and my vehicles, which will easily be able to take this out without too much.
Yeah.
Well, actually, send my vehicles back. I think my command.
Yeah, your commander can take out these couple of bots. This is not really.
Yeah.
This was to check if you were expanding beyond your baseline, wasn't it? Really.
Pretty much. One thing that's a bit annoying now is the commander will stop building things to fire an enemy if there's one in range.
Okay. Well, that was you might have just seen there for just a split second the big S on the map, and there's an N coming up now. That's to donate the poles.
Oh yes.
Although important, not happy with that currently in its form.
I like it.
Really, I'm not happy with just a big N and S. I think there needs to be something else to indicate that, something less immersion breaking.
I don't know, because I like to think that I'm a robot in this scenario. I am the commander who's just a big robot.
Fair
so
enough.
I don't mind having very utilitarian things that kind of just denote things. It probably will change, don't get me wrong. Probably right. They probably will make it look a bit prettier.
I see you being far more acting and scouting here. You're going to take a single
bomber. I've already seen at the back with one bomber.
Okay.
So I decided to come in slightly fabrication bots.
Yeah.
Pop.
Lovely.
Because that'll just annoy him. I mean, he can't expand anywhere near as quickly.
Now, you'll notice, viewers, that a very experienced player, the killer, and he's already expanding his base far and wide, very similar to how we've, Lemming suggested, it should be standard play.
Yeah. I can tell at this point that he must have built a lot more fabrication bots while I was pushing, and then relied on his commander for defense while just pushing out more recon. He's even expanded to the south of my base.
Wow.
And I think that isn't necessarily just an econ play, that's an aggressive play, because it's stopping me from expanding there.
Yeah, it's denying you position on the map. And this must be how other players feel when they're fighting you.
Well, the people I've been fighting before, yes, and he is a good 5-10 minutes quicker than I am. At this point, it's quite scary how quick he is. I am trying to build up now, though.
But I think, again, there's this is your kind of first real experience of playing a player at this caliber.
Oh yes.
I know how difficult it is to get into the mentality of playing when you've been playing at the lower brackets to play someone at this level. So there is going to be a learning mechanism for you here, as much as there is going to be, actually progressing your play.
Oh yes, and Killer isn't only one of the most experienced. I believe he's got the second or third highest win to loss ratio on the Gentleman's Ladder as well.
Oh wow! So this is like in comparison playing MVP, guys. So
I wouldn't quite go that far, but he is incredibly good. He does know the game quite well now.
Well, would you? You say that it's not comparable, but I mean, right now, is there? Right now the situation is he's a very good player. He's second on the Gentleman's Ladder, and if any previous viewers will know, I do like Gentleman's Green. The best type for green.
Of course, wow. Best anti-air again
is tanks.
I
don't know though. That was a big volley.
They are doing a lot less hits now. I think they either slow down the shots or change the tracking ability of them because they're not quite as effective as they used to be, which is nice.
So you might have to revise my previous advice of going to your local barracks and picking up a tank in case anyone's bombing your house, guys.
Yeah, I think what I would do is go to your local factory and get some interceptor planes, preferably Tech 2.
Preferably Tech 2 interceptor.
I think the joke's kind of getting stretched there.
It's getting stretched there.
I did decide to go air quite early on here because I think that bombers are going to be quite good against his general army to keep him out of my base, because I know with the amount of econ he's got, he's going to be able to push out a lot of general units.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he wanted to, he could push out far more Tech 1 than I ever could. So I thought, you know what? Air is going to force him to build anti-air, which is going to slow down his general attack, and is going to make my life a lot easier in defence. Fortunately, he's doing quite well here.
But you've managed to use these factories to your advantage, which is a very interesting positional play here, guys. That was not a fair-sided battle, and I think you came out just ahead on that.
I did. He's going after my econ now.
Oh, he did very badly with those bombers. That was.
Yeah. I didn't panic, but I quickly built an anti-air turret from the ground turret next to my commander to take out the interceptors to defend my bombers.
Got you. I think though that the tanks played a part in that, because I think that was a bit of anti-micro there. It looked like the planes stalled and tried to turn in one go.
Yeah, he was trying to snipe my bombers to help protect his land from attack. He did get 2 of my mass extractors, and I can't rebuild those because he quite quickly builds Tech 1 artillery there, which is a little annoying, and he does actually kill quite a few of my Tech 1 vehicles.
So that's very interesting that artillery has been used for something that it's generally not used for, which is area denial.
Yes. And
that's what artillery primarily should be used for.
Yeah, it's a really different way of playing artillery in these sorts of games. Because, I mean, as you know, they started removing long-range artillery in RTSs. I think the last game I can remember that did it would be Red Alert 2 with the Grand Cannon, the French built, but they removed it because they couldn't think of a counter for it. Then Subcom did it. Sorry, Subcom was probably actually the last one.
Well, no, Total Annihilation had some long-range artillery.
Oh, but that's quite old now.
I
think about like more modern stuff. The Subcom did it, but I think the Subcom artillery was just either overpowered or just took on to build. It wasn't used very often, in especially high-level play.
No, in high-level play it isn't primarily used. You've got a point, because if you're going to make it devastating, which you want artillery to be, it needs to be overpowered, but then you've also got the constraints then of balancing it.
Exactly.
But Total Annihilation does it, Planetary Annihilation does it in a very nice way, that because the map is so open, and because artillery is annoying but not game-ending, and you've mentioned a number of times that you find it actually, it's quite difficult to get the killing blow with artillery.
It is, yes. I decide here to build a Tech 1 artillery to take out his Tech 1 artillery that's trying to protect his flank.
Now, are you building this turret to protect it? You are, aren't you?
I'm building it so that his artillery shots will attack that first.
Yeah, I see that. That is actually... that's a really nice adaptation here, guys, because that's something he saw his opponent do, what, 4 minutes ago, if that?
Oh, I accidentally opened the developer console there, which was a bit misminded. I was trying to do my army over, which is Control 1. He does push in. He really wants to get rid of this artillery before my artillery kills his. But I've already got a bit of defence up. My commander's there as well.
I wonder if he's repaired his commander. I'd really like to know that. Does the commander regenerate health, or is he?
He does regenerate health over time.
So I may never know if he physically repaired it. That's interesting.
You can repair your commander though, which is good.
Oh yeah. With the fabbers.
I have destroyed his Tech 1 artillery there, so I'm going to build a second one just to protect his flank a bit. And I don't think he's really going to be able to push in there until he gets Tech 2. But I'm already building 2 more Tech 2 factories, and I've already got 1 built.
Now, I don't understand how he's not just massively ahead, because when you started to scout around, he'd expanded his economy massively.
Yes.
I would have expected a significant change. Why do you think that's not happening?
I've becoming massively advantageously out of nearly every engagement so far.
You're becoming massively advantageously.
Massively advantageously, yeah. Those are the words I chose to use today.
Fair enough. So, out of the battles, you were in an advantageous position.
That's probably a better way to put it, yes.
Okay. And that's allowed you to regain some... Now, you've noticed a lot of air, so here comes the defence down. I'm still amazed that... Oh, we've got... How far behind... Oh, there's the wall going up.
You've got 1 wall there. Like I say, you can only build 1 wall per tower, and that's why that artillery has been shooting at it for the majority of the time it's existed.
That's very awkward.
Yeah. It'll go down soon, though, but I decided to build a Tech 2 artillery. I think that when bases are this close, I'm very worried that he doesn't have any Tech 2 vehicles he's pushing in with, so I'm thinking he might be doing something like that.
Yeah.
But I think literally what he's done is he's just built lots and lots of Tech 1. I don't see any Tech 2 until quite late in the game.
Okay.
And most of his economy has gone to be just building mass units, but my bombers have been taking out large chunks for very little. And even when it's been unit versus unit, I've always had the commander or turret on my side generally.
It's a real shame that we can't jump into the replay here and like you can in some other RTSs and look what the position is, because at the moment, if I hadn't have seen the current situation that he hasn't killed you, I would have been convinced this game should have been over 5 minutes ago. He just had such an economic lead. I'm wondering how that's been pulled back. Whoa!
He does have quite the economic lead, as you can see.
Because that's just one base, isn't it?
Yep. He is pushing an awful lot of econ, which is also part of the reason he's got a lot less.
He's got a lot of there. I'm going to be honest. This looks like he's being nice to you.
I honestly feel he can't push into my base at this point, because I've scouted most of his stuff, and I know I have because I did check after the replay and saw what he's got. I have scouted pretty much all of it, and I haven't seen any Tech 2 yet.
Okay, so this is all he has.
Yeah, he's got a lot of econ. He's got a bit more econ over there, but I mean, he hasn't got any Tech 2 factories. I think he's just building one now-ish.
Right.
So I've actually got the tech lead here.
Okay. I'm really surprised about that, I'm going to be honest with you.
I did rush it a bit. I mean, like, you can see my econ's quite far down. I've really stopped building this artillery because it's not going to be able to fire without the energy anyway. It was really silly of me to try and push out this Tech 2 artillery.
But again, you're in a worrying position. You've got to do something, and the brain goes to...
Yeah, he's pushing through Tech 1 artillery on the side, and I do what could be considered a very silly manoeuvre here, and decide to push in with my army.
But this is something that I think artillery does provoke.
Yes, there wasn't much I could do here other than try and push in.
And again, this wouldn't have been the killing blow, but this would have been the start of the killing blow, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, turrets are very good, as it seems.
Yeah, turrets, good unit.
Right, my tech's all on the other side of the map, because I have to build it far out of the way. But, again, I see his army, and there's not much Tech 2 there.
Wow, there's an awful lot of it, though.
There is an awful lot of it, yes, but I've got artillery firing on them from the side. I've actually got 3 bits of artillery laying siege to his army at this point. I've taken out that forward fire base as well. I actually still got the artillery. That's annoying. But I'm just trying to hold off until my Tech 2 gets there. At this point.
Yeah, this is.
And he still hasn't got any ground anti-airs. He's got plenty of planes, but I've got quite a bit of anti-air vehicles now.
Yes, he has.
And SAM sites as well. So as soon as... No, never mind that. As soon as the tanks, again, anti-air, good unit.
Yeah, I mean, this was a valiant... this was a valiant hold-off, and I've got to be honest, I doubt I would have been able to do anything close to this, but...
It's not over yet.
Really?
Yep, I hold this off.
No
I've lost
way.
quite a bit of my economy, but my Tech 2 tanks roll in. I've got a turret firing now as well. He decides to focus on the Tech 2 artillery, but I wouldn't be able to fire with it anyway. And I've held it off. Again, I've taken a massive hit. I don't think I'm in a winnable position now.
No, but that's surprising that wasn't it.
Yeah. I decide now I must have taken out a lot of his army at this point.
I think actually he's just switched over to mass building.
He's got Tech 2 up now,
yeah.
So he's pulled that in. But I've got more Tech 2 here than he has. So this is defendable for me now. For a while. He has got mass vehicle buildings. He's already starting to build an army, but his econ's very spread out, and my Tech 2 is quite close to it. So I've always sent Tech 2 tanks, which I'll probably go over to in a minute, to attack the back of his econ. Pushing forward to take out this artillery.
Fire base, yeah, which needed to go down.
Yeah. All this tank is very massive though. Oh, I don't quite get that down. But it's okay, because that Tech 1 artillery isn't in range anymore. Oh, okay, go with those bombers. Very smart. Oh, you think he's actually out of energy as well. But
he's not happy with those Tech 2 tanks.
No, and Tech 2 tanks can take out a lot of Tech 1. I haven't got radar though, so the range advantage isn't in my favour at this point.
And that's why they were stopping the tanks didn't go further on to kill, did they?
No. He has got a lot of Tech 1 factories. A lot. And he's just building more, but... Well, you know what? If you haven't got the units to defend them...
Yeah, he went a bit greedy here, but... Oh, what is that? He's got the rest of the planet.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, all north of there.
No, that was the moon.
Oh, okay.
The movement texture went a bit funky there.
Okay.
But yes, but I'm building Tech 2 tanks at quite a pace. I've got engineers boosting them, and again, this is why I prefer engineer boosting rather than mass factory.
Yeah.
I think that if he had half as many factories as engineers boosting them, he'd be getting them out a lot quicker. Just because of the pathing, if nothing else.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So I need to get radar up. I haven't got trouble selecting these engineers. There's so many little bugs with selection boxes at the minute, it makes it very hard to do quick, precise movements like that.
And Tech 1...
Tech 1 scouts, which just...
He's just probing there, really, isn't he?
Demolished, yeah. He's just checking what I've got. He's got quite a bit here, though.
Yeah, so those scouts are actually a scout for the main force, so he's doing what I would think of as proper military tactics.
I think they just boxed it and wiped out.
Okay, fair enough.
Personally, I'm sorry if you didn't kill her. If it was intentional, then hats off to you. That's what it looks like to me.
Fair enough.
So
you think he boxed it within, and of course those units were faster. So
they were faster, yeah. So they came in first, yeah.
It's possible that's why they were in the composition, but yeah. Oh, you've lost all that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that go. Okay. I don't even know what killed it. But I know I've lost at this point. He's got such a massive lead on me. I probably should say good game, but I'm just living in hope.
I think we're aware that this game is over, but you know, against a player of this caliber, you want to just do it anyway, just for the experience and the fun. I mean, why do we play games if not for fun?
Yeah, something I didn't realise in the balance patch as well is that Tech 2 tanks have not a massive significant range advantage over Tech 1 anymore. So even with radar, I'm still taking hits from Tech 1 tanks.
And look at those shots, not killing those aircraft. That is interesting.
My Tech 1 artillery is still doing a good amount of damage against his buildings. And I can see that this flank is fairly empty. Again, I know he hasn't got much. Well, I say that. He didn't have much because he would have pushed in, but he's obviously rebuilt quite quickly.
Yeah.
And at this point, when he comes in on the left flank, Tech 1 and Tech 2, still not a huge amount of Tech 2, but still plenty enough.
And you call good game.
I call good game. I know it's game over. I've seen stuff on the right, I've seen the stuff on the left. I'm being pushed against the wall, and I am dead.
Okay, now something I wanna just go through here, guys, is I know I'm being critical of the position. Wow. I know I'm being critical, but you've got to understand that it's a jump up in play style.
Oh yes, definitely. It's a huge jump up in play. I think that the more games I play, the better I'm going to get.
Yeah, but I think at this stage we can actually say that was your first competitive game.
Yes, and I just went in there and said, "Who wants a game?" And Killers jumped up. I said, "You know what? I watch his videos. He's a great guy. I'll play a game against him." And unfortunately lost, but he's much better than I.
Well, I'm really excited. I don't know about you viewers, but I'm really excited. So drop us a comment, drop us a like, and tell us you want to see more of these gentlemen games, because I certainly do.
Yeah, so hopefully there'll be another one up tomorrow. I'm not making any guarantees, but hopefully.
But we're looking at 4 Planetary Annihilation videos a week currently.
Yep.
And you've actually asked me to attend as many of those as possible, which I will try to do.
Yep.
And we're going to see further new features in the near future.
Yeah. So anything, any vehicles, any new units, anything that changes, I'll try and do a highlight video on it for people who don't have the alpha and don't know. Again, you can buy the alpha if you want, but well, it's a reasonable price. $90. It sounds expensive. I think it's worth it.
I can see it being a lot of money, but if you've got the money, guys, chuck it out there.
Yeah. So then that's the end of the video. So I've been Surreal Lemming.
And I've been Morgway, signing out.
Signing out.